Davon. How are you?
Hey, Varsha, how are you?
I'm doing well, and happy Friday to both of us. Thank you for making the time for this conversation. I'm really looking forward to this. And let's get right into it. What do you think?
Sounds good to me.
All right. So first of all, people who don't know me, I'm Varsha Vaishampayan. I'm CEO and founder for Wings for Growth. It's a nonprofit which focuses on women's leadership development program. And I invited today our mentee from the past cohort, Davon Gorman. And I was thinking about who all I want in these conversations. And Davon immediately came to my mind because she came with a very open mind to learning. So when we were going through the interview process to select people, women for this program, both me and the other person who was interviewing, we both felt that you were instantaneously ready. How can I be better? What do I need to improve to become that leader? You came with a razor focus and a very powerful drive to get something out of this program. And that's what we really look for in people who we invite for this program. So it's been a year or probably longer, Davon, and I thought that we should catch up because I know you're doing really well. You have grown in many different ways, and we will talk about your success, personal, professional, and everything else. So Davon, why don't you introduce yourself to all our audience and listeners?
All right, sounds good, Varsha. So first of all, thank you for having me here this evening to speak to everyone about my experience with Wings and how the program really helped focus me on becoming a better leader. So with that, my name is Davon Gorman, and I'm a vice president at a bank focused on managing programs related to cyber resiliency. I am active in my community, mother of one, bound to be college student. So it's a lot of exciting things going on. But I've been at the bank now for about 19 months. And the year I started with the bank was the year I participated in Wings for Growth. And when I signed up for Wings for Growth, I knew I was starting a new position, and I wanted to make sure that I showed up differently, right, to match what my new responsibilities would be. So my goals for this program were, one, to elevate my presence and my performance to really match the responsibilities that I had, and to two, right, just take ownership of my own career and really become focused and identifying what it is I wanted to do and where I wanted to be. And I felt that Wings would really help me to actualize the goals and the dreams that I had set for myself, and then put a plan together to get there.
And you know, that's so important that sometimes we try to plan too much, and sometimes we plan nothing, right? So there's something to be said that how do you strike a good balance? Because you can't plan your 5 years life out, right? Because even if you do, you have to be very open-minded to what, you know, circumstances can bring to you and how quickly you can be very adaptable, right? So Davon, tell me what makes who you are today.
Ooh, so what makes me who I am today? So first of all, I have a faith in a higher power that really drives how I navigate this thing called life, right? This thing called career journeys. And it really serves as a foundation for how I move. Second, I have confidence in my ability to learn. And I know that I bring a work ethic that is second to none, right? So the way I move is with efficiency, with effectiveness, but yet with a high level of graciousness and kindness, okay? And then third, I have an amazing network. My family, my friends, you know, including my Wings family, they really shore me up, right? And they ensure that I can be successful in what I do. So with that as a backdrop and defining who I am, let me talk about what I was able to accomplish through Wings, right? So as I said before, I started a new job, right? Started with Wings. And so based on what we were covering and what we were doing, you know, within the first 3 to 4 months, I was able to acquire more responsibilities, to actually raise my hand, ask for and receive additional responsibilities. I applied for and was appointed to a board, a nonprofit board focused on homelessness in my community, Homeless Solutions. It's a hand up, not a handout. And then 3, I'm here with you this evening talking in this forum. And Varsha, that's something that I would have never done without Wings for Growth. So again, thank you.
You know, people, women especially in our cohort, they're very surprised that if they've never faced the camera before, that's one thing they get plenty of practice here. You're constantly being recorded and you're given feedback by so many people. So have that, you know, thick skin and take it all in and internalize it. I love the point you made about work ethics. It's super important, and everyone, that shows the value system that you have, which I'm sure is a lot because of your upbringing and your family support, which you talked about. So let's talk. You mentioned a couple of times that Wings has helped you. And of course, that warms my heart every time I hear this. That's what we want to hear from our mentees. Why don't you tell our listeners, what are some of the unique things that you found in this program that helped you?
Okay. Uniqueness. So there are 3 things that I think about from a uniqueness perspective with Wings, or 3 words that really describe to me what makes Wings so unique. And the first word is intentionality. The second word would be accountability. And the final word would be the truth. So from an intentionality perspective, I think about the IDP that we had to develop and the time that we spent to really think about who we were and where we wanted to go. I think about the books that we read. I think about the workshops that we had. I think about the conversations that we had with our mentors and with our cohort, right? And all of that was intentional in having us to really assess our leadership style and our skills and where we needed to grow and enhance our performance to be just that much better. I think about accountability. I had weekly calls with my coach, right? A weekly call. And so by having weekly calls, you have to really sit back and think about, how did I perform this week, right? How did I show up, right? Did I show up as Davon, or did I show up as Davon, the leader, right? Who wanted to do more, had aspirations? How did I really show up? And so it forced you to always critically assess, right, your behavior, your actions, your mindset as you move throughout the day. When you think about, you know, I'm a leader, right? And then finally, it was the word that comes to mind is the truth. And if you ever wanted to hear the real deal and get real feedback that will push you forward and make you address some of the issues that may have been holding you back, right? That no one really told you about, but that can really hinder your growth, this is the place to be, because they tell you the truth in a way that would help you kind of sit back and take note. But then also that same group is helping you to get over that, right? And continue to push forward. So you're just that much better. So again, when I think about Wings, I think about intentionality, I think about accountability, and I think about the truth. And that's what makes Wings unique to me.
My God, that's very deep. I love all 3 things that you said: intentionality, accountability, and truth. And you are right. That's why we are who we are, right? We can be vulnerable with one another. We can give feedback to one another. And intentions, of course, you know, everything is super structured. So I remember our conversations every time. Oh, Davon has a big smile today on her face. That means she must be all prepared for this meeting, right? I love that. And I'll tell you, Davon, that I also hear this a lot from all the mentees, and especially even in this cohort, that people say that it's not easy for women to talk about themselves, right? So when you come to these forums where it's all about you, yes, the mentor is focused on you, there's a whole team of 4 people that you get practice to talk about you, right? What challenges you're facing, what accomplishments you have had, and that can be very powerful.
And Varsha, that's a great point, because that piece around what accomplishments that you made. I mean, I think before Wings, I only focused on what I didn't do, what I didn't have. And through my weekly conversations, I really was forced to say, and what did you do well? I mean, this conversation isn't always about what you didn't do. Let's talk about what you achieved. And it was reframing, again, my mindset right? For all the things that I was doing great, but we're so hard on ourselves, right? And so I can really appreciate that, so what did you accomplish, right? Toot your own horn a little bit. So.
I completely, and that's a good segue for the next question, Davon, that, we focus a lot on your strengths and traits, and we do self-assessments, and we remind our mentees that when you're practicing to achieve your goals, you're practicing different activities, make sure that you bring your strengths to front, right?
Yes.
Don't put them in the back because I got them, I don't need to worry about them. That's how you leverage, right? Leverage them. So what are the 3 top leadership skills that you think you've learned in the program?
So I'm smiling because even in this interview, I'm still getting coached and challenged to do things a little bit differently. So when I think about what I learned from a leadership perspective, I think about authenticity, I think about dedication, and I think about calm and chaos. And so from an authenticity perspective, I am who I am. And as a leader, I have to embrace just me. And forever, I think I was trying to be someone else who what I thought a leader was, and who I thought a leader should be, or how I thought a leader should sound. Well, I'm a Midwest girl, right? I'm easygoing. I like to collaborate. I like to build relationships, and that's how I move, right? And that's okay. I can still be a successful leader and, make sure that we meet our milestones and that we deliver on our commitments. That's all important to me, right? That's very important to me. And in order to get to where I've gone, I've been able to do that, but I can do it in a way that's so authentically me, right? And that's what I've learned is that I'm good just the way I am. 2, from a dedication perspective, I work hard. I work hard to achieve the goals that we've set in any projects. I like delivery, right? And so I'm dedicated in learning. I'm dedicated in growing. I always say that I'm a jack of all trades, master of none. And from that perspective, I think, Varsha, when you hit on that you can plan, but you can't plan too much. My career has just pivoted. The topics that I'm talking about, they vary all the time. And so if I was too strict around what I could do, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing today. So I think the dedication to self-improvement, right, to learning, to forever being a student, but then taking all of that knowledge and being able to be a coach, right, are things that I've learned as a leadership perspective. So I can play that role, student, teacher, coach, player, whatever you want to call it. I can play both roles and play them very well. And then I think about calm and chaos, I think that I was able to strengthen my ability to remain calm when everything else is around me is crazy, right? And I got that term from a leader, from a mentor, from a former boss who said, you bring calm to chaos. So when everybody is spinning and everybody is getting, upset and everybody is everybody, Davon comes in, right, with this demeanor that, hey, we got this, we're going to deliver this, and we're going to do it in a very kind and gracious way, right? And that's just how I roll, and that's how I live. And I'm more confident in being able to show up like that in every environment. So those are things that I've learned and perfected through Wings, and perfected and accepted through Wings for Growth.
There you go. See? I surprised you with this question, didn't I? And
did.
Absolutely. Here you go. Davon is being true to what she believes and true to who she is.
Yeah.
That's so important. I've always seen you being that way. And more importantly, I know that people who have known you when you came to Wings program and now, I definitely see so much confidence and your ability to come across as I got this under control, right? And that is a very important quality of a leader. So again, a very good segue to our next question. We have an amazing cohort, Davon, this year. 21 women. They're from different companies, high potential women from different companies. And as you have said, that this program isn't easy. It requires a lot of commitment and a lot of focus and a lot of drive. What's your advice to the mentees to make sure that they not only sail through, but also do really, really well?
First, you got to tell them that there's a method to it, right? There's a method to the madness, right? You're like, what are we doing? But there is a method to the madness. Again, I talked a little bit earlier about intentionality, right? There is a method to the process that you're going to go through in Wings for Growth. So with that said, embrace it, right? Embrace the process, right? Embrace everything you're about to experience over the next couple of weeks. It can feel overwhelming at times. I mean, you're going to have weekly calls with your mentor. You're going to have books you're going to have to read, workshops you're going to have to attend, but be fully present, be fully engaged, right? Build those relationships with your cohorts. And I promise you, you will be better for it. So I would say embrace it, right? Stay fully engaged, right? Build those relationships with your cohort. There are some amazing women who are doing some amazing things. I really got to watch people like just elevate like 2 and 3 levels based on what they were doing and the opportunities they were taking advantage of based on the conversations, right? And we were all virtual, right? Based on the conversations that we were having through WebEx, I saw people grow. I grew, right? But you got to be in it. You got to embrace it. You got to stay focused. You got to stay committed. You got to read the books, right? You got to walk on the treadmill and have that book playing in your ear on Audible, okay? You got to be invested, and it'll make all the difference in your personal and professional career.
And I almost forget this, that last year has been so difficult for everyone because of pandemic and everything. Even this year, right, continues. And women who are committed to the program even last year to complete and graduate this year, they had so much they had to go through. All this chaos about, because of pandemic, then work, full-time work, which has become suddenly very difficult. Everything is virtual. And then, moms, you're a mom too. So 3 things to juggle at the same time. And now you got a program to go through. Yes. So this was definitely a huge, big, complex year for a lot of women who were in the program last year. But that's exactly where women shine, right? You did really well. So many others have done. And what I am so proud of that entire cohort from last year, Davon, we didn't have one dropout. I thought that people would be dropping out. Yes. Right? Yes. I didn't even have to have a conversation with anyone that, hey, don't drop out. We are here to help, which sometimes does happen. I'm like, oh my God. And I was thinking, even if I was a mentee in my own program, I would be like crying every single day.
It's enough.
Kudos to you guys. You did really, really well. Davon, thank you so much for making the time for this. And I want to ask this question, and I think you're probably going to say, surprise me again, is what's next big thing for Davon?
Yeah, you're going to surprise me again. But so what am I doing right now? So I am studying again, right? I am preparing to study for my CISSP. So I'm going to work on getting that certification. So that's going to require a lot of dedication. But I'm doing that because I really want to put together a plan so that I can eventually become a CISO, a Chief Information Security Officer. So I'm putting together my board of directors, right? Putting together that plan on what I need to enhance, right? From a knowledge perspective, from a leadership perspective, from a network perspective, in order to achieve that goal. So I'm busy from that perspective on the career. And then of course, with this board position, really learning how to be a good board member, right, for this nonprofit Homeless Solutions that I am now a part of. And I've been volunteering with them for probably, 20 years, but I've never been on the board, right? To be on the board, you show up differently, you serve your community differently. So I have a lot to learn with this new responsibility as far as being on the board of trustees. And then as I shared, as you know, I have a senior in high school, so I'm trying to get her ready for university, right? And so we're slowly getting in, not slowly, we are getting in acceptance letters. And so it's really like celebrating her and making sure that she's ready for her next life milestone, right? Which is graduating and matriculating to university. So those are the things that I'm working on. Those are the next 3 big things for me: CSIP, CISO, and college. C3, all 3 C's.
Yeah, 3 C's. That sounds really amazing. And what I really liked about that, Davon, is that I always highly encourage all our women leaders to, after they graduate during the program, pay it forward, right? I mean, doing a stretch role outside your business.
Yes.
It's so important. And the best way to do this is to do with nonprofits, right? Because that's something it's a feel good factor. You're doing something good for the community. And all nonprofits have leadership opportunities. They actually require everyone to be leaders,
Yes.
right? I can see this for myself, right? We are a nonprofit, and everybody here is with a mission and a passion and focus on how can we do better in terms of impact, right? More impact. So that whole space is a great way to learn how to become a leader. So I'm very happy that you're on the board now. You will actually be able to practice your leadership skills and while you're paying it forward and helping the communities you're helping.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So awesome. Thank you for your time. And please keep us posted on what all you do. And one day I know I'm going to see on LinkedIn, Davon Gorman, CISO of XYZ company.
Absolutely. We will see that for sure.
Absolutely. I'm rooting for you. And I know it's going to happen very soon. So thank you, Davon, and good luck.
Thank you so much.